chances of a New Zealand housing market crash are extremely unlikely, but there are those who say that we should actually make a crash happen, with one commentator in 2016 calling for a managed crash to bring house prices down by 40%. The suggestion has some superficial appeal. Median house prices in Auckland are now over 9 times annual household income, so surely a crash would simply make houses more affordable and help people to get into the market. Perhaps, but at what price? The consequences of a crash are entirely predictable and would be devastating for the entire economy. Firstly, anybody who'd borrowed 80% of the cost of buying a house prior to the crash would end up with negative equity in their property. In simple terms, this means that these people would now owe more to the bank than the house was actually worth, with the difference in some cases running into hundreds of thousands of dollars. This would particularly impact on first home buyers, who are most likely to have borrowed the maximum amount possible to get into a home. Secondly, homeowners who had used the equity in their home to buy a business or fund business cash flow would face having those facilities reduced or even called in by the bank, which would inevitably lead to a very large number of business failures and the consequent loss of jobs. Number 3, spending on large consumer items such as cars, renovations and travel, which are often funded by loans raised against household equity, would plummet, with a knock-on effect throughout the entire economy. And fourth, those approaching retirement who had been planning on utilising household equity to fund those years may find themselves needing to delay that retirement to recover their financial position. And in an ironic twist, property investors who up until a couple of years ago were required to have a 40% deposit to buy an investment property would therefore be in a strong position to snap up bargains created by the market crash, something I doubt would be welcomed by those who are advocates of such a crash. And in the wake of all that carnage, a crash wouldn't actually fix the housing market because it wouldn't resolve the supply, productivity and income issues which underpin our housing problems. So we would inevitably see another round of house price inflation and the cycle would simply begin again.